Methodical research indicates that 40% of our long-term happiness is determined by intentional daily activities. This suggests that mood is less of a passive mindset and more of a biological state we can influence through specific habits. This chart maps out the 4 primary neurochemicals we use to regulate that state: dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, and endorphins. We are going to target these molecules by building a color-coded neuro-balanced schedule. By aligning your daily tasks with these chemical triggers, you create a framework designed to maintain biological resilience. To start, open your digital calendar or take out a blank paper planner. This UI mockup represents your initial baseline. Block out your mandatory commitments first: work hours, school, and commuting, to establish the day's unchangeable scaffolding. These blocks are the foundation. The remaining gaps are the spaces where we will engineer your brain chemistry. We begin with serotonin, which provides emotional stability and reduces reactive stress in the amygdala. Schedule a 5-minute blue block for morning mindfulness to normalize cortisol. Next, endorphins act as natural pain relievers, providing a mood lift. We add a green block for physical movement. Aim for 20 to 30 minutes, the biological threshold required to trigger a neurochemical spike. Starting the day with these blocks stabilizes your nervous system before introducing high-energy demands. Oxytocin promotes feelings of safety and social trust, which are critical for long-term recovery from stress. Modern schedules suffer from virtual disengagement. Relying purely on text strips away the facial expressions and vocal tones needed to process empathy, driving increased isolation. To counter this, identify one digital interaction and upgrade it to a pink block. This means changing a text chain to a phone call or a video call to an in-person meeting. Physical cues matter. Even a hug lasting 20 seconds is enough to measurably trigger oxytocin release and suppress the stress response. Authentic chemistry requires these sensory inputs, making upgraded connections a functional requirement for your daily plan. Dopamine is often misunderstood. It is driven by the anticipation of a reward, rather than completing the task itself. We can use this anticipation to handle difficult tasks using the first-then method. Look at how we structure these yellow blocks. First, you schedule your most difficult, high-energy task. Then, you follow it immediately with a preferred reward activity. Pairing these activities ensures the brain associates hard work with an immediate chemical payoff, engineering motivation directly into your workflow. A tightly packed schedule is a mistake. Overscheduling keeps cortisol elevated, trapping the brain in a state of chronic stress and vigilance. You need white space, unstructured buffer time, to allow the nervous system to downshift and process the day. Watch as we insert gray buffer blocks between high-demand tasks. We also anchor the end of the day with a mandatory digital detox block to prepare the brain for sleep. Incorporating these recovery phases allows baseline cortisol levels to normalize, keeping your nervous system functional. When you compare the starting baseline to this neuro-balanced schedule, the difference is clear. You have moved from a list of demands to a roadmap for recovery. You have successfully integrated structural discipline with the flexibility needed for biological maintenance. Test this framework tomorrow. Monitor your focus and adjust the duration of your yellow motivation blocks or gray recovery blocks based on your actual energy levels. Using these biological requirements as a guide provides a practical framework for maintaining consistent emotional stability.